Problems in marriage are inevitable, and even couples or marriages that appear perfect really do have marital issues. These problems happen for the simple fact that you and your spouse are two different individuals with two different mindsets, two different upbringings, and probably you have been exposed to two different environmental influences. And sometimes your mind just cannot meet. So this is likely to cause problems. Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia. Thank you for joining in. If you're new on this channel, please help me grow this channel by clicking the red subscribe button and turning on the notification bell. So in this video, I'll be discussing 7 marital problems and their solutions. Number 1, infidelity or cheating is at the top of the list for a reason. Because it's one of the main reasons why most marriages have crashed. Cheating is when a married person goes out to meet with another person, entangle with another person that is not his or her spouse. That's called physical cheating. Now we also have emotional cheating, where you actually invest time, emotions, probably even money in someone that is not your spouse. For instance, you're sitting right at home and you are chatting up someone else, discussing someone else. You have a relationship online. Social media has helped in this kind of cheating. So it's cheating. Why? Because you are giving attention to someone else that is not your spouse. Attention which is supposed to be directed to your spouse. So it's called emotional cheating. Most marriages have not been able to recover from this and have crashed. It is true some couples have been able to solve their problem and have overcome infidelity, while others really cannot recover from it. So the solution here is to remain faithful to your spouse. I have made a video on how to remain faithful to your spouse. I will leave that in the description. So stay faithful to your spouse, respect your vows. Now, number 2, differing values. Values are maybe the goals, the interests, those things that are important to you. If you and your spouse have significant different values, you are likely to face problems in your marriage. Let's take, for instance, religion. One person believes in God and the other person doesn't believe in God. One person believes in forgiveness and the other person doesn't. You are likely to face problems because that's such a significant thing that you shouldn't quarrel or fight about. It can also lead to maybe after you have children, you have different ways of bringing up your children. You just have different ways of seeing things. One couple could be seeing something as right and the other person sees everything wrong with it. So you are likely to face problems. The solution is what? Discuss with each other and try to get to understand each other. So communication is key here. Number 3 is selfishness. Yes, selfishness in marriage. When you are thinking about you. Marriage is for two, and it only takes 2 to make it work. It takes you sacrificing for your spouse to make it work. It's not always about you. So try to meet your spouse in the middle. God loved the world, so he did something, he gave. So don't say to your spouse, if you love me, you have to do this for me. What about you? What have you done for your spouse? It's not only about you. Okay, this thing is for me. It's going to favor you. Have you thought about your spouse? Okay? It's not all about you. Okay? So the solution here is what? Try to put yourself in your spouse's shoes. In whatever you do, factor out, is my spouse going to be happy when I do this? Even cheating is part of selfishness. The number 1 I just mentioned, it's part of selfishness, because if you are not selfish, you won't go out to meet another person knowing fully well that your spouse is going to get hurt when he or she finds out. Cheating only benefits you who is going to cheat. You enjoy alone, or whatever happens there, you are the only one to reap from it. Your spouse only suffers. So it is part of the problems most marriages face, and you must learn to put your spouse in front. Put your spouse in that equation. It's not about you and you and you. So let's move on. Next on the list is money problems. We are going to look at money problems from 2 perspectives. 1, lack of money, and 2, possession of money. So, even couples who are financially okay, they still face marital problems. And this is also a serious problem most couples face in marriage. Okay, let's take lack of money. You know, if you have a problem of money, you cannot meet up with your bills, it can cause stress, and it can cause you maybe to, you know, to react in a funny way, and it can put a strain on your marriage. You understand? Now let's take money. You have money and your spouse maybe has money, and you're quarreling about money. You are okay financially, and money is not the problem, but the problem is not maybe how to use the money. You fight about how to use the money. One person may want to save the money, and the other person may want to spend it. And if both of you even want to spend it, you may want to spend it differently. One person wants to buy a car, another person wants to buy a house. You know, you may have differences in the way you want to use money. One person wants to invest, another person wants to spend. So the solution here is sit down as a couple, have an effective communication on collective goals, on collective priorities, and, you know, try to reach an agreement. So communication is the key here. Next on the list is lack of appreciation and attention. This happens mostly to couples who have been together for a long time. You know, you tend to see your spouse as, you know, familiarity, too much familiarity. You don't care maybe to appreciate what your spouse is doing. You say, you have to do it. You've been doing it. So what's there? Why do I need to appreciate? No. Acknowledge what your spouse is doing. Say thank you where you have to. Say sorry when you have to. You know, acknowledge your spouse when they do small things. It must not be something very big. You know, it is very important. It has a way of bringing out the best in someone. Appreciate your spouse. Show them attention. Okay? So the solution is what? Put yourself in your spouse shoe. What you like, your spouse definitely likes. So try to give, okay? Next on the list is intimacy. You know, that's even one of the reasons why so many people get married. They want somebody they can call their own, somebody they can turn to every time they want. You know, they want to be intimate with that person whenever they want. So even the Bible says, do not keep your body. Do not refuse your partner, your body, unless maybe you are fasting or you're praying, and it should be as a result of collective agreement. Okay? So, as much as possible, give your spouse that right. Your spouse has the right to your body. There is no need for you to say, okay, no, I'm not, because you are angry with your spouse, you are not going to do it. Yes, it is true. You may not feel like it, but it's your priority. Okay? It should be a priority rather, for you to meet your spouse's need in that light. So like I said, try your best to meet the needs of your spouse. Intimacy needs, okay? Do it. It is important. If you don't do it, you'll be committing a sin, because the Bible has warned, do not do that. Okay?
Last but not the least is abuse. Yes, abuse can be physical, it can be emotional. So this is something that is important. It has led to so many marriages having problems. Some have broken up. Do not let your marriage get to this extent. If you're someone who has, maybe you have a high level of anger, you need to find a way to cope with your anger. You shouldn't resort to maybe raising your hands on your spouse. It shouldn't happen. If you say you love your spouse, you should be there to protect him or her, not to abuse him or her. So please find a coping mechanism. Don't say, okay, this is my weak point and accept it. No, do not take ownership of it. You can actually change. You can actually do something about it. That will be the solution. So that you don't always get to that point where you maybe say something very bad and then you have to regret it later, or you actually go ahead and do something that will hurt your spouse. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like it. Give it a thumbs up. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and please subscribe if you've not yet done so. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.